Sounds delicious. All right, let's do that.
A delight and delicious. Look at this episode.
Who was that group that did Groove is in the Heart?
Yeah,
Was
just
that
lovely and delicious. That was Delight too.
D
Yeah, that's right.
Delight? That's what I was thinking of. Delight. Yeah. That was funky, man.
They even had the bassist, I think, Bootsy Collins from Parliament, Funkadelic.
Yes.
He was in the
Yeah.
video.
With
So
the star
yeah, yeah,
glasses.
that's right. That's him.
Jamming it.
Look at
All
this.
right.
Welcome to the Greens and Blues Sports Center podcast. This episode, Zach argues for the inclusion of Martin Riggs in our Christmas canon. I talk round numbers and asymptotes, and Zach and I work through some hot takes and New Year's resolutions for 2026. How's it going today, Zach?
I am doing well, Eric. The semester's over, so I'm getting rest. I'm doing all the things that have accumulated for
You
the
watched
past.
Die Hard recently, I saw.
I did. We'll talk about that in a minute, but
Here we go.
I did do that with my daughter. Just totally sealed the deal on Dad of the Year with that one. So, yeah, my 12-year-old kid watched Die Hard with me. We also saw like Dumb and Dumber a few weeks ago,
Oh, there you
and
go.
she hated that movie. And actually, I get it. Watching it through the eyes of my wife and my daughter, I was like, ooh, yeah, there's some stuff in there that's cringe.
There is. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think the 80s and 90s had a fair bit of misogyny kind of like baked into the cake.
There was.
And now when I watch them with the women of my life, I'm like, ooh, may want to rethink that one.
Got it.
I mean, there's still funny stuff, you know. They're driving down in the Muttmobile and peeing in the glass bottles and stuff.
Pets' heads are falling off.
I've had it with this place. So yeah, and then I'm gonna head down every year. I've talked about this a couple times now. Every year I head down to the Wichita National Wildlife Refuge, do a little winter hike down there. I wait till it's frozen a couple times so that the ticks are a little more
Yeah.
restful. So I'm gonna head down there tomorrow and do my annual journey, cleansing the soul. It'll be good. So
Sweet.
I'll report back. Usually I see past three times I've seen at least three elk and at least three deer.
Oh,
And
wow.
last year I saw, I think a couple deer, three or four elk, and then I saw bison. Like I turned a
Yeah.
corner and there was a bison about 20 feet from me. And that's always a little creepy because they're like 1,000-pound animals that don't make noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, they're pretty luminous creatures. So yeah, how about yourself, Eric? What do you have going on?
We're doing good. So, your birthday, this is going to come out like 2 days before your birthday. I'm not going to say what your age is becoming, but
47.
I didn't want to say it.
I'm 2.5 years behind you, my brother. So yeah.
Well, happy birthday in advance. I'm hoping this trip around the sun is a good one. So, you and I both have unique birthdays. Yours
hmm
is on New Year's Day, mine is July 4th. So, 2026 is a pretty momentous year in a number of ways. So,
Yeah,
one of the ways is I'm turning 50 on July 4th this
that's
year.
right.
So, which means that my 50th birthday coincides with the 250th birthday of the United States. Do you know, Zach, if 100 years is a centennial, if 200 is a bicentennial, do you know what the 250th would be called? I had to look it up.
I'm trying to think of a Latin way
Yep.
of saying 2.5. Bidemiscentennial? I don't know.
That's
What is
pretty
it?
good. Pretty good. So it's called the semiquin centennial.
Oh wow.
So yeah, there's a few syllables there. So
Are you
because
celebrating your quintennial?
I had to look that up too. They call it the semi-centennial
Oh,
for
semi.
50. So like
Okay.
yeah, the half. So not only is all that happening, but because Colorado is the centennial state, that means that this year our state is celebrating 150.
That's right.
So do you know what 150 would be called?
A semi bicentennial? No. Yeah, what is it?
It's confusing. It doesn't make any sense. It's a sesquicentennial. The only reason I knew that is because growing up in Michigan, when I was a kid, Michigan celebrated its 150th, and so they had commercials all around. Little kids were trying to say sesquicentennial. Old people are trying to say, and everyone's messing it up. So it was kind of fun. But I can't make this up, Zach. The town of Louisville, which is north of Denver,
Hmm.
so there's a whole commission put together by the state of Colorado to celebrate both Colorado's 150 and the nation's 250 at the same time. And the town of Louisville, they are looking to celebrate the semiquin centennial in 2026 to put the two together.
Yes.
So, yeah,
And your birthday.
well, that might sneak in there too. So, anyone wants to have a party, just go up to Louisville and start spouting off big words like sesquisemequin centennial, and maybe people will start partying with you. So
I
that's
don't
kind of
know
cool.
if the words Louisville and party if they go together very well, but
Oh no.
it's just a sleepy little suburban community outside of Denver. But
So that's 2026. We can look forward to all of that. And your birthday kicks the whole thing off. So it's going to be
man,
fun.
what a year. Actually, what we're talking about today, your birthday may kind of appear in one of the things we're going to talk about. So,
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
so yeah, what are we talking about today, Eric? What's
Well,
on the sched for the dawn of the new year?
we're going to hope to kick it off right by sharing some New Year's resolutions, some goals that we may have for the year, and maybe share a few hot takes going into good old 2026. So on that note, Zach, I know you've got at least one hot take that you want to kind of get off your chest. You want to kick us off with that?
Yeah, I mean this one's a scorcher, and it relates to what you just brought up.
Okay.
Um, I am in the camp, like a lot of Generation X kids, that thinks that Die Hard is a Christmas movie.
Well, here we go.
And it's hard not to watch that movie and not think it's not a Christmas movie. It's got Christmas music, it's set at a Christmas party, the use of Christmas decorations and so forth. The music score is very Christmas oriented. So I'm firmly in that camp. Here's my real hot take though. If we're going to include Die Hard there, which we should, then Lethal Weapon has got to be a Christmas movie too.
Oh,
Because that's
man.
Christmas around Christmas in Los Angeles as well. I'm moving on to new territory, new fights, new arguments in the new year, and that's going to be
Love it.
the hill that I'm going to die on this year is that Lethal Weapon is a Christmas movie. The original Lethal Weapon 1,
The first one, yeah.
yeah, the first one.
I
Um,
love it.
so there's a lot of Christmas themed stuff there too, and the final fight with Gary Busey and old Martin Riggs on the lawn out there. There's like Christmas lights and everything, and I just think that people should start to grow comfortable with Lethal Weapon as a Christmas movie here.
I like it. You're kicking us off right. I haven't seen, honestly, it's been a while since I've actually seen both of them, but Lethal Weapon has been a long, long time since I've seen. So I don't know that you're going to get a ton of pushback on Die Hard. I see kind of some folks saying, yeah, it absolutely is, and other folks saying, I don't know. But I think overall, I've seen more pluses than minuses on that one. I liked Lethal Weapon, though. That may have to kind of start a campaign there to make Lethal Weapon more of an actual, like, recognized Christmas movie going forward. I like it.
I have to say, this is low key directed at my wife, who believes that Christmas movies have to be in the Christmas spirit and not just a violent movie that happens to occur at Christmas. She wants Christmas cheer. I get it. But if that's the case, then we start having weird conversations like, is Home Alone really a Christmas movie? Because there's a fair bit of
Oh,
violence in that,
yeah.
albeit, Harry and Marv get the
Yeah.
most of it. But
A little more cartoony. Yeah.
yeah, a little more cartoon.
Slapstick.
Although when that old man whacks him on the head with a snow shovel at the end, that's just
Yeah.
Good old fashioned American violence right there.
That's
So
hardcore. Yeah. He's not messing around.
yeah, he does not back off that thing. So anyway, yeah, that's my first hot. I've got another one that's not a hot take at all, but more of a recognition of what went on in the past year. But
Mm.
I want to open up the conversation to Lethal Weapon. And I'm going to start with all my Twitter bot followers. I'm going to get this thing going here.
I love it. So bots, hope you're listening.
So, Eric, you said you had a New Year's hot take here. What do you got?
So my hot take, this could end up being kind of lukewarm, or it could be like really hot, depending on who's listening and who's going to take this seriously. So we've had a little bit of controversy this year around true summits and true summit elevations.
Mm,
It kind of started out with Crestone Peak, and we talked about it when that was
and
happening.
East Crestone being like,
Hmm.
3 inches higher or something like that. Yeah.
Exactly. So, in recent weeks, my home state of Michigan has also
Mm,
experienced a bit of a controversy there at the hands of the same team. So, Dr. Eric Gilbertson took his team to the Upper Peninsula of Michigan, where there are two peaks that are very, very close to each other in elevation. They're both just shy of 2,000 feet. So both of these oneers are apparently just inches apart from each other in elevation. So I believe it was Mount Arvon that was previously thought to have been the taller one. His data came back and said that it's actually Mount Kerwood, which is, I don't know, maybe 10 miles or so away. So
okay, so it's not like a Crestone East Crestone situation where, they're
like
a
right
few
next to
hundred
each
feet
other.
apart or
Right.
something. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm a little torn, Zach. We're not that far removed from the days when LiDAR was kind of blowing our minds
Hmm.
and changing the landscape of 14ers, which ones were official, which ones were unofficial. But I'm a little torn as to what's the truth. Like, I'm glad we may be getting closer to it. And I'm a little torn in how long is this going to stand? Like, LiDAR was supposed to be, accurate within, I don't know, 6 inches, I thought, something like that. If differential GPS is that much more accurate, that's great. But for points that are this, close to each other, is there going to be some other technology that comes out in 3 years or whatever
Yeah.
that's going to flip it again and take us back to, well, actually, West Crestone was truly just a little bit taller than East Crestone.
It's
So
not like you can go and string across, a 2x4 and
a
put a
level,
level
yeah.
on it, like these measurements are really, really hard to do. And
Yeah.
there's a reason they have fluctuated so dramatically in the last 150 years since we've been mapping especially the Intermountain West. I've heard people say that probably the best thing you can do is just climb the list that you've got when you've got it. So, like,
Yeah.
for everyone that went out and hiked Crestone, you're a finisher if you're a finisher, right? Or
Yeah.
if you've done the state's high points, like our guests on the next episode who've done 49 out of the 50, if you've done all the state's high points,
You've done them.
you did it with the list you had when you had it. I think there's a deeper issue here. And I think there's different kinds of hikers. This is maybe where this sounds a little judgy, but it's not. I think there are hikers that are very analytically and list oriented, like to have definitive precision, who will make a point of walking across the exact high point. So, like when I was on Buckskin, you and I have both done Buckskin, I think I may have walked around the exact high point there. Like, I don't think I actually walked over it. This past year, when I did a peak in the Sangres, it was super, super windy and there was a little shelter like 3 feet below the summit, and I hung out there. I don't think I ever actually technically touched the high point. There are some hikers who absolutely have to touch that high point.
Mm.
For them, especially if they are very list oriented, and hiking tends to attract a lot of people that are kind of list oriented people,
Yeah.
that may be an issue. For me, I don't care
Yeah.
as much. I care if you're getting sponsorships. I care if you've got a book deal. I care if you're making your name off of it or you're making money off of it or if you're giving advice based on certain claims. Like, they're having some veracity in your claims is probably really important. But I'm with you, man. I don't. Where does this end? What's the guy's name that is going around doing this?
Dr. Gilbertson.
Doctor Not So Fun. Is that his name?
Is that his first
Doug,
name?
I think it's cool. I mean, what Michigan should do is say, now we have two high points.
Yeah, there you go.
So I don't know how worked up I can get over stuff like that. Emma Burr, I know there's been some conversation on the
Yeah.
.com. Emma Burr's a 13er in the Sawatch.
Yep.
Had a big, basically, facelift, a bunch of rock slide, mudslide peeled off the east face of it. It probably took it down 10 or 15 feet. Does it matter? I don't know. What's the true summit now? I don't know. I want to go hike it. Actually, maybe that's maybe one of my resolutions here, but I think that's a pretty interesting take there, Eric.
Not the hottest, but I'm a little torn on it. So for whatever that's worth. So I think you've got another not so spicy take.
It's like, I made some pasoli for my family last night.
Ooh.
And I made a batch that did not have red chili in it for my wife and my daughter. And then I had my own private batch that had red chili in it. And this next take is kind of like that. It's going to start out mild, and then we're going to move to a maybe spicier take. Something we have not mentioned here happened in the past year, and I don't know if you've heard of this gentleman named Kilian Jornet.
For sure.
For those of you that don't know, it's Kilian, and the last name is Jornet, but I'm going to say it like it should be said because he's Swiss or French, I believe, so it's Jornet. This gentleman did something I thought was impossible. In a calendar month, so in 30 days, he hiked every publicly accessible 14er in Colorado under his own power, which means he either hiked it or he biked between the trailheads. Yep. Then he cycled all the way to California, did all of the ranked 14ers in California, and then cycled to upstate Washington and did Rainier. And you're probably thinking, how did he do this? He did all the 14ers in Colorado in something like 15 days. I think it only took him 6.5 days to cycle from Colorado to California. It was a 900-mile bike ride.
Really? It only took him 6.5 days?
He averaged like 140 miles a day.
Oh my gosh.
And for hours at a time, he was averaging 16 miles an hour. And then he went and hiked the next day. Or like he threw down his bike, just like put on his stuff and just went right up. Then it's no small stretch to bike from the Sierra Nevada, all the way up to Washington. And he did all this in less than 30 days. I just want to say I am nowhere in the neighborhood of that level. Like, there's a clip of follow me here. There's a clip of a former basketball player. His name is Brian Scalabrine. He was barely a starter in the NBA. Came off the bench, played 6-7 minutes a game. And there's clips of him taking on D1 college basketball players and just destroying them like 11-0 and one-on-one. And at the end of the clip, he says to them, "I'm closer to LeBron than you are to me," to these guys. I feel that way about Kilian Jornet. He is way closer to God level than I am to him. What an amazing physical accomplishment. Mental accomplishment, the level of grit, determination, effort, that is outstanding. Here's my semi-hot take. So that's like the regular pasoli there. The hot pasoli is we may be approaching a point at which these FKTs, the fastest known times, are reaching an asymptote of like the limit of human ability, where I think the first time anyone tried to do fastest known time of all the 14ers was like 14 days. And now it's down to like 12, something like that. I think now people are just going to be shaving off minutes and not hours or days. And I think stuff like what Jornet did absolutely sets the bar for crazy stuff. I think we're kind of edging up against peak unaided human performance here.
Yeah.
And now maybe someone will come along and just blow this out of the water, Michael Jordan style, but I don't know. What are your thoughts, Eric?
Again, I didn't realize he did all that in 30 days. I knew he accomplished all of that this past summer.
End of summer. He did it. He hiked some of the 14ers with snow on them.
That's
like,
even better.
And yeah, even still did it that quickly.
Oh my gosh. Yeah, I like the word asymptote. We're kind of probably getting to a point where I don't know how much more improvement you can come up with. It might be to a point where they just have to get more creative with what this is going to look like. Like if the FKTs are going to include like juggling one-handed on the way to each summit or something like that.
Where it's like a Revenge of the Nerds, they got to do a shot at the top of each summit, and like they're just absolutely lit up by about the 10th peak, stumbling drunk.
Yeah, FKD, fastest known drunk. Yeah, I agree. I don't know how much faster we can be doing these things. It's going to probably come down to, when Andrew and Andrea did the co-ed FKT, things like that, where you can kind of make it a little more unique, maybe even a little more personal, but
Yeah.
it's probably going to have to get a bit more creative. Justin Simone, when he's doing these long traverses at one time, those kind of things that very few people could do, but a little more on the unique side of what an FKT could look like. Yeah, I agree. I don't know how much faster we can be doing these things.
I mean, I foresee probably a winter FKT,
Yeah.
someone trying to do that.
Yeah. Is that going to be you?
He busted me up there. No, I mean we're about to do some resolutions here, Eric. I'm nowhere in the neighborhood of FKTing. Like if I do 4 or 5 peaks in a day, I'm gonna go eat some barbecue and I'm gonna lay down for a long rest. Like I am not doing this stuff, but these guys, kudos to them.
For sure.
It's not how I like to hike. That's not a philosophical comment. It's just a personal preference. Like I don't hike for speed. I hike for spirit.
Enjoyment. Yeah.
It's obvious that people are really kind of pushing the boundaries of what's possible. And so maybe for our New Year's episode, just to look back, hot dog, what an accomplishment that is. And he's got a whole handful of them and he's sponsored and stuff. Cause I mean, just the cycling alone, he cycled, I think, close to 1,700 miles.
Oh my gosh.
In addition to doing just on its own, that's an amazing accomplishment.
For sure. In
Like, if I
addition
go-
to all of the 14ers he did.
If I go bike 50 miles, I'm done. And this guy's just peeling that off every 3 hours.
Oh
So,
my gosh.
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I think it's time, Eric, that we move on to our New Year's resolutions. These are a way of keeping us responsible, a kind of way of holding us accountable for the things that we want to do, some hopes and dreams. A lot of people are kind of casting their hopes and dreams into the next year. So let's start with you, my friend. What are your resolutions here for the new year?
I've got a few of them, and some of them are related to some resolutions I came up with last year. So last year I was looking to summit a Gore 13er, which I did in Jacques Peak. I was looking to summit Pacific, which had thwarted me the previous summer. So that I was able to do. And then I wanted to summit, I believe it was 20 unique 13ers. And I ended up summiting 23, not counting Mount of the Holy Cross, which was a repeat 14er when you and I summited that past August. So, and there was an adjunct goal that I was kind of developing as the summer went on. And that's going to lead into my first resolution for this year. So as I was going, I realized, man, I started out in the Mosquitoes and the 10 mile, did a few hikes in the Front Range because it's close by. You and I did a hike in the Sawatch and one in the San Juans. Was able to tackle a Gore. So at that point, I'm like, wow, there's 8 sub-ranges of the Colorado Rockies that have a 13er at least. And I've got 6 of the 8 so far. So I tacked on West Spanish, which is in the Sangres. So I had a goal of trying to also tackle an elk 13er.
Yeah, you better get your butt out to the Elks, my friend.
That one fell short this year. So
Can I give you one?
yeah.
I've got one on my list. I don't know if we could link up for it, but Mount Owen.
Ooh, I
in-
saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah, I've got an old guidebook of Colorado's 13ers that I found at a used bookstore, and it describes the Mount Owen hike. I've been eyeing that in my reading, so maybe Mount Owen is, and that's in the Ruby Range, which is a really cool, really geologically interesting range. So maybe that's number one for the year is an Elk Range 13er.
I like it. So that leads to my goal. I want to summit a 13er at least in each of the 8 sub-ranges in Colorado. Mount Owen sounds good to me.
Let's fire it up. Let's do it.
Add it to the list.
Add it to the. I keep a spreadsheet. I don't know about you, but
Yeah.
yeah, I've got the list of like what I want to do, and I've got it all laid out.
So yeah, I'm going to start there with my resolutions for 2026. So what about you, Zach? You got 1 or 2 or 3?
Or 5. Yeah, well, apparently I did not have Mount Owen on the list, but I'm like you. I don't have that as a resolution. I do try to spread out geographically in Colorado. Like every year I want to do at least a Sangre Peak, a San Juan one, a 10-mile one, and that'll be maybe one of my resolutions here in just a sec. Swatch, Front Range. The Elks do get neglected though. So maybe it's time to get over to the Elks and do a Ruby Range peak. That'd be fun. My first one, as we go through these resolutions, if you guys do the math, it's not going to add up. So just don't even worry about this. But so your goal last year was 20 plus peaks. I'm sitting right now at 175 peaks above 13,000 feet. So that's some 41 14ers, I think, and then 134 13ers. I'd like to do 15 peaks this year. I have a goal of getting to 200 before I'm 50. So if I could get 15 real summits at the end of the year. So this past year I did 16. I always leave like feeling like I've got a few bullets in the chamber, like I could have done some more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think this year I'm going to aim for 15 peaks. So that's irrespective of difficulty or anything, and I'll get into some granularity in a sec. But just 15 peaks for me, who has to come and go like I do and drive out and hike, and it's always a bit of an ordeal. That's probably a realistic goal. If I lived in Colorado, I'd probably do double that. But you just drag me along on all your adventures, and that's my first resolution. And I think what goes with that for you and me is that I maintain a level of fitness that allows me to do that. If we're talking like classic New Year's resolution, stay in shape. How about you, Eric? What do you got for your next one?
Yeah, so my next one, Zach, as I was thinking through, I just mentioned West Spanish Peak in the Sangres, and I realized, I have not spent a whole lot of time in the Sangres, especially considering how accessible they are to Castle Rock. They're not that far. They're probably about as far as the Sawatch is, maybe a little farther, but I've spent a whole lot more time in the Sawatch. So one of my resolutions is to spend more time in the Sangres this year. I had a really fun experience on West Spanish, and so I'd like to tackle at least 3 peaks above 13,000 feet in the Sangres this year. West Spanish was very unique to me in the fact that the weather was a little odd. I was kind of above the clouds for a lot of it.
Happens in
And
that
once
part
the
of the
clouds,
world.
it does, and I didn't even realize it. I mean, the only 14ers I've done in the Sangres are Blanca and Ellingwood, and West Spanish is the only 13er I've done. So the Sangres are very much neglected in my list. So I want to spend some more time down there. If I can be above the clouds again, that'd be great. If I get just a little bit different experience on the mountains, that's kind of what I'm looking for. So I'd like to tackle a few more Sangres this year and kind of experience what one of your stomping grounds is. I think Sangres and San Juans are kind of your home base often when you're here. So
What do you have in mind? Do you have names in mind? Have you fixated on an area?
the one group that I've really looked at, and it's probably not fully feasible, but the Maxwell, Mariquita, De Anza, I know that really starts butting up against private property. And so to really tackle that would either require clearing it with the landowner or just avoiding some of those altogether. But it looks like Maxwell is a pretty nice shot up from the road that leads up there. So that whole area, kind of the southern Sangres.
I mean, it's far south. It's funny you mentioned that. That's an ideal hike if you want to do that whole ridge line. So it's the northernmost peak, 13er there is Trinchera Peak.
Trinchera.
And then I think the southernmost one is either De Anza or Mariquita. I've done, I think, 3 out of the 5. And I want to go back and get all 5. And if you have 2 cars, you can do a shuttle where you start at the northern end and just hike all the way down, just bag them all. So maybe you and I could do that. We can shuttle with that one. But that's a great hike. The 2 times I've been there, the amount of wildlife in that area is just crazy. It's just loaded with deer and elk and mountain sheep and goats. It's great. So
that sounds awesome.
that is a noble goal, my friend. Well, sticking with the theme of specific areas to go to, and sticking with the theme of Eric's turning 50 this year, we've kind of talked about for your 50th birthday, going to Chicago Basin.
Indeed.
Everybody tells us that's a special place. I've been to Elk Park, which is north of there, which is near Vestal Peak and the Trinities. I got very excited about September, and I mapped out a whole itinerary for Eric and I emailed it to him okay, day 1 we do this and day 2 we do this. I'm super excited to maybe get to do that, ride the train in this year, backpack in. And I think if we did that, we could not just do the 14ers in the area, but I found a few 13ers.
Mhm.
I think Jupiter among them. And so get maybe two or three 14ers and a Centennial and maybe another two 13ers. So it's on my New Year's resolution is to backpack with Eric. Again, be in good enough shape to do this. So the rule is always don't be the weakest link, right? Don't be the anchor that Eric is dragging up the hills. So
Stop it.
so that's definitely a hope for the new. I don't know if it's a resolution, but it's certainly a hope.
I love it. Yeah, I'm happy to be the what would it be? The onlooker to your Kilian Jornet during our Chicago Basin journey. That'll be a lot of fun. Seriously, we've talked about it a few times. I think that would be awesome. Trying to add a couple 13ers to that trip, that would be spectacular to, I've looked at Jupiter a little bit. That whole area just seems like it's beautiful. It would be fantastic to just spend a few days in that area and hey, get a few mountains out of it, all the better. So
You're going to show up to the train with like a full pack, and I'm going to show up Killian Jornet style with just like the running vest with like a water bottle and like power bars. And you're going to be like, "Where's the tent? Don't need a tent, brother. We're
not
going
doing it
day
this
and
time."
night. We're just going to lean against a tree and sleep."
That's right. We're gonna ride our bikes up to Chicago Basin, and then we're gonna start walking.
We're going down Molus Pass. We're going to trail run that.
I
Yeah.
love it.
There you go. So yeah, that's my resolution. I'm excited to do that with you. Celebrate your 50th. I may have done some research on how to bake a cake at altitude in a
Oh
camp stove.
man.
So see what I can do. Maybe one of those instant mixes. We'll see.
Oh my gosh. Man, your pack is gonna be loaded. You talk about Kilian Jornet, yours is gonna be like 70 pounds. You're
You're gonna
bringing cake pans and all sorts of
gonna be
stuff.
like those guys going up the Skagway Highway in Alaska, like stripping gear off the whole hike in. Just like a trail of loss.
Stuff. Oh my gosh.
You got any other resolutions here, Eric?
I just got one more, and it's a really straightforward one. As we talk right now, Zach, I'm sitting at 80 peaks above 13,000 feet. I'd love to do another 20 next year and just get to a very even 100.
Get to an
So
even hundo by the time you're 50.
that would be, oh, I didn't even think of that. Well, I mean, I turned 50 in July, so 20 peaks by July 4th that's going to be
But your 50th year, let's
my
say.
50th year. I like it. So yeah, 100 by approximately my 50th trip around the sun. So
A
I like it.
centennial for your what? For your
Oh, it was a semi-centennial, I think.
semi-centennial?
Yeah.
There you
Yeah.
go.
Now I even have a title for that goal. I like it.
Yeah, we're gonna make t-shirts. That's
Oh,
great.
people are going to be wondering what that is all about, but
I love it. I think that's a noble goal. You've really cranked it up these past few years. I'm envious. So that's great. Yeah, getting to hundreds, that's a big deal. That's a nice round number.
it'll be fun. And it's been a lot of fun adventures to get there. So yeah, we'll
Maybe
see.
maybe you plan your 100th so that one of your kids could come along.
Ooh, I like it.
Yeah, celebrate
I'll
with
have to see about that.
celebrate with one of them.
No. So what about you, Zach? How many more resolutions you got for
Well,
us?
I'm going to be that guy. I've got three more.
Sweet.
So I have been thwarted the past 2 summers by a couple summers ago, just wasn't able to get to these two peaks. And then this past summer, intended to do them, but we had the famous mouse in the car incident.
Irvin
Irvin
and
and
Blaurock.
Irvin and Blaurock are
Yeah.
like my thing that has not been attained yet. So I'm coming for you. They're a couple really, I look forward to doing them. They're like a couple fun class 3 hikes. I always like to be kind of tuned up for a class 3 hike and go after it. And they look great to me. I really want to do them. And this year it's going to happen. If there's a mouse in the car, I'm not descending and worrying about my car. I'm just going up. So
Bring the mouse with you.
yeah, you're on a ride, buddy. So, so yeah, Irvin and Blaurock is my third resolution, and
That's
then maybe
awesome.
attached to that is another class 3 one. I have like a sub goal of doing all of the peaks in the 10 mile and Mosquito ranges, and one of the last few I have remaining is Wheeler Mountain, and
Yep.
so that kind of sits up above a little lake, kind of near Montgomery Reservoir. Wheeler's a class 3 one. I just haven't gotten to it yet. I'm not haunted by it or anything. I think I've just All I have left are Wheeler and Arkansas in that range. I want to go do Wheeler Mountain this summer, get that in. Maybe I do like a whole class 3 trip where I just do Wheeler one day, Irvin and Blau Rock the next. Really kind of feel the vibes on that.
Yeah, that's close. They're close enough. You could pull that off.
I could, yeah. So, and then my last one is a big one. I like to do these big days. We talked about that with Holy Cross. I'd like to do a day where I do 5 peaks in a day. So if listeners know of like a good 5-peak day, send it. I've done a couple 4-peak days. I've done like the Decalibron and then the aforementioned Holy Cross go. And then I did Sheep Mountain and West Virginia and a 13er in the Sawatch. I'd love to have a 5-mountain hookup somewhere. I know like the aforementioned Emma Burr has some options around it. Emma Burr and Kreutzer, I think, and some others. I'd love to do a 5-peak link up one day. That would be a really fun thing. It's always cool to get all those peaks in a day and feel that sense of accomplishment.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I don't know. You got any thoughts on my my hopes, dreams, resolutions for the year? Don't crush them, Eric.
What I was going to say was take me along for some of these. I mean,
think-
Irvin and Blau Rock sound awesome too. There's a group of 5 that I found in the Sangres. Probably done some of these at least. Eureka, Yahoo, Hermit, Rito Alto, and Spread Eagle. You've talked about.
Oh, no, I haven't done those.
You haven't?
No, I've heard you can, well, obviously, I mean, they're all on Common Ridge. Like, you can knock them all out. It's just getting, where do you start on that?
The drive-in is rough. The trailhead is probably way off, and there's just a long approach, is what I'm going to guess.
I think it's the Coonies that talk about that. I think that's where they said that the drive-in, I've looked at that, where the drive into that is rough. That would be one where, boy, wouldn't that be nice to have like a ATV or something to kind of bust in on that with. But I've heard of that one. There's one, yeah, there in the Sangres. There's a couple in the Lagaritas that I know people have kind of banged out before, like banged out 5 in a day.
Wow.
There's a few in the San Juans, and then there's a couple more in the Sawatch that are kind of left. So I'd be open to any of those. Those are kind of into the summer goals, like when I'm really acclimated and really, really kind of tuned up. But yeah, those are the things that I'm excited about this year and that kind of keep me going when I'm jogging on the treadmill or riding my bike in the middle of the winter.
That sounds like a lot of cool adventures. Yeah, seriously. I would love to join you for a lot of those if you're willing to take a trail mix fanatic with you.
I'll bring the steaks. Let's do it.
Yes. I'll bring the Blue Moon.
I'll have some more of that carrot. That carrot cake will fuel that'll fuel a 5-peak day.
Oh yeah, I'll bet.
Yeah, I like your resolutions, Eric. Hopefully I like my own. That all sounds great. I'm also really interested to hear from listeners and see what they have, if they have any cool resolutions.
Yeah.
It's always really neat to go on 14ers.com and look and see what everybody else is kind of, where their eyes are a little bigger than their stomach perhaps and what they're aspiring to. Because there's everything from I'd like to hike 5 peaks this year to I want to do 100 in a year. There's people doing super technical routes, and there's other people like you and me that just want to bag the funsies out there and do that. And that's enough of a challenge. So I'm pretty excited about, I don't know how much longer you and I can do this at this rate. I'm about to turn 47. You're about to turn 50. And there always is that question of like, I'm not slowing down yet. And you're certainly not. So maybe we got a few more good years left in us, Eric. Maybe we're like Jerry Roach, still doing these into our 70s and 80s.
I love it. Yeah, I've seen a few people post on the .com about, what's their goal? Well, they're like in their 70s and their goal is just to get out there and do something, have fun, get on the mountain, get to the top, and no set goal of how many they want to do, which ones they want to do. They're just enjoying it. So we'll get there someday. Until then.
Well, it's sooner than later, I'm afraid.
I'm afraid of that too.
Yeah. Well, if any listeners want to write us about their New Year's resolutions or what they look forward to, or if they want to bring along some steaks, cook them up for us before Irvin and Blau Rock, how can they reach us, Eric?
That all sounds fantastic. You shouldn't have
Don't
said
bring
that.
a mouse in my car, though.
Steak.
That's all I ask.
Yeah, keep the mouse away. Yeah, we would love to hear our listeners' goals and resolutions. We might even share some on the air if we get some interesting ones. If Andre the Giant has a New Year's resolution, I think we should post
I'm
that for
coming down from the
sure.
clouds.
Oh gosh.
He's from the
Well,
Alps.
if it's that's true, yeah. He's got a lot of weight to carry up and down wherever he's going. But yeah, if Andre or Napoleon or anybody wants to let us know the resolutions, we can be emailed at greensandbluespodcast@gmail.com, or you can go to our website, which is greensandbluespodcast.podbean.com. And there you can access our Facebook group or our YouTube channel or leave us a voicemail. I'm still looking forward to more voicemails beyond even just the Macho Man and other sundry celebrities.
I think that sounds great, Eric. I look forward to hearing from folks. I look forward to the new year. We both wish you all a very happy new year. I hope much hiking success to everybody in the coming new year. And we do actually have a couple interviews coming up in the next few episodes.
Yes, we do.
John and Renata Collard, the Climbing Collards.
I like it.
Yeah, a little something to share with you guys. And I just wish everybody a happy new year.